myself, and I need to change this. Dashboard. Change the link. Ah, okay, it's fine. All right. So the Simul link is in the chat. Should be pinned message. Yeah, okay. So waiting for the people to come. 16 plus 60 minutes plus 15 seconds increment. You don't get a lot of increments, but okay, that way we don't play too long. Okay, while we're waiting for the Simul, I should be live, yes, yes, okay. No, that's not me. Alright, let's see what's going on. This was a draw. Very accurate play by black. And it's a draw. Yeah, okay. This was the double fianchetto. Small advantage white, but this, to be honest, I don't understand. Because now black is stuck with this weakness, but it's very hard to use anyway. That's true. F4 is correct, but yeah, rook a7, okay, d4, but d4 is a problem, yeah? Now white has advantage, but, and it's winning actually. So it's actually winning, so Prague missed to win. It should be winning. It should be winning. Although 1.5, what happened? Suddenly it's not so simple, yeah? The king is on h6, knight is on d6. Maybe it's a fortress actually. Maybe it's a fortress, yeah. So, yeah, it is a fortress, okay. So it's a draw. Yeah, because even if you play g4, the black king just stands here, you cannot push this pawn, and king cannot come even close. Yeah, that was actually a very smart draw. That's a pretty smart draw. Case facing Gukish. Let's see. Yeah, this bishop d6 is very popular these days. So the isolated pawn, nobody's scared anymore. There's just one pawn, and it's equal. Okay. Alireza couldn't beat this guy, this white. That's not good news. For Alireza actually is worse. He's trying to take some risk, but he is worse. And black repeats instead of going for d3, g5, bishop f, but that's the risk, yeah? So black would rather just take a draw. Interesting. Alright, open Spanish. Let's see what white prepared. White goes for this main line. Yes, I'm actually very surprised that black apparently didn't know this, and he's just worse, yeah? He's just worse. Yeah. First line, first line. Actual miscalculation. On f4. Why? Maybe some compensation, yeah? Actually, black does have compensation. White king is way too open. So what happened? How did he lose this? Oh, he missed a4. Oh, that was actually a big one, yeah. And now it's lost, yeah. Wait, white misplayed also. He played this. It's kind of a very strange move, to be honest, yeah. And this is wrong. King should go to b7, not by this. Because after b6, black king on d6 is vulnerable. Now black is fine again, but he plays this move. I don't believe this. Okay, let's check here, here. Take. Yeah, it's winning, yeah. Why is this not winning? Because knight f5 runs into bishop e8, so king must come. King d8, knight f5. Ah, if you come here, it's bishop d7, yeah. So, and black is just in time, yeah. King e7 is losing. And black has only one move to draw. This is actually a study. No, you cannot choose. It's chess 960. What do you mean? Oh, no, it's only chess 960. No. Oops. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me. But guys, check out this position. Check out this position. It looks losing, yeah? But there is still a pathway to a draw. Kind of amazing. And this pathway is because of this bishop f3. And if king f6, then here. And after knight g3, you just bishop f7. I mean, bishop c6 is really... You have to find the correct sequence, yeah? Bishop c6 here, or king d8, and bishop c6 here. Very, very difficult. King f5, then you can play this. And white's problem is this knight is not moving. All squares are taken. So white cannot make progress. f4, f5, king h7. But in order to make progress, at some point white needs to move the knight, okay? And that means you have to give up the pawn. Yeah, this is actually a study. Very interesting. All right, Aronian. All right, who is in the Simul? Andromeda, okay. This is Grunfeld reversed, pretty much. Yeah, looks absolutely equal. E5 looks correct. And it's just a draw, yeah? Yeah, just a draw. Very interesting. Nepo cannot win the game. But he's playing against Petrov, okay. Medyarov Demchenko. Medyarov actually plays... oh, Demchenko is actually playing London. Very, very solid system. King e7. I can guarantee you that no sane grandmaster would play king e7 in this position. That I can guarantee you. No sane grandmaster will find king e7 in this position. And yet, after this move, advantage is black. So we have to find out why. Yeah. It's because if rook h4 is g5, rook is trapped. Then you can take this and you win the exchange, yeah? So why couldn't you do this before? Ah, because when you attack the bishop, it has a check, right? Okay. Oh, he did find it, wow. Man. Medyarov is amazing, actually. He did find it. g5, knight f6, okay. Ah, queen c8, not the exchange. Damn, this is very hard. You know, you get free exchange, but after g4, fixing this bishop is dead weight, and then knight potentially can come to g3. Good for white. Now black managed to open the bishop. Now black is a little bit better. The endgame is also playable. This is advantage black. This is winning for black. And he fell for a trick. He missed queen f5. Oh, he just missed queen f5 with one move. Yeah, that's the thing about my mediator. Sometimes he just becomes careless. Rook h6, check, and rook h1. This is critical move. Critical move. Yeah, this is a huge problem. Damn. Yes, we saw this game. Yes, everybody saw this game. It's absolutely crazy. In order to analyze this game, you need like at least several hours, okay? I know this is theory. This is where the theory probably stops. So the engine says this is equal, but how exactly equal is it? Yeah? b3. I mean, if somebody is gonna lose this game, there's no other way about it. Yeah, and he played this incorrect move, but let's see what was the necessary play. Ah, but do you know how hard it is to find this move? I don't think people will realize how difficult it is to find this move, but once you see it, white is completely winning, of course. Yeah, that's the key move which you need to see. If you don't see this move, then this whole line makes no sense. But if you see it, it's pretty gorgeous, yeah. Bishop d4. Queen moves here. Mate threats. Another mate threats. But also this pawn is hanging. So rook here, take, and that's the end. Yeah, since he didn't see it, he played this, and now black is just better. And that's just a chess game. Now this pawn is very, very close to promotion. White cannot use this. But it's not the end, yeah? Apparently a mistake. But very, very interesting. Knight c6, still equal. Still very equal, amazingly enough. But this is the losing move. And the correct idea was to play this. Because white is threatening to take, check, and mate. So check, king f3, king1. And this is extremely difficult to see this line as white, of course, because first of all you have to see the draw, and second of all you have to see this pattern, okay, mating patterns, which force black into this. And this looks equal, yeah. So, but he plays this, and suddenly, you know, b2 is coming, and there is no defense, yeah. Yeah, this is the desperation move, obviously. If you have to play this, then it's completely bad. So he stops b2 at the cost of the bishop. But now this rook is not walking anywhere, and rook is coming here, yeah. Rook is coming there. Like for example h4, d4, threat is rook here, d2. So rook c3. And you can even play this. but this is better move. Stops the king from coming. How do you win though? Completely paralyzes white pieces. G4. Threat of the check. King must leave. And then the second rook comes here and it's game over. Yeah. Very, very strong. It's unnatural, but you know, it was, yeah, knight c2, yeah? If he found knight c2, then white's play is justified. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, that's kind of amazing, actually. All right. Who is Razmon Terrible? Who is Razmon the Terrible? Terrible. Yeah. I don't know if Pete will show up today. Usually he shows up. We have some other veterans. Turn Mao. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's give guys some more time. I can think of a few more people, including Pavel, who might come in 5. Okay. Yeah. Pavel joining in 5. Good. So while we're waiting, yeah, this was the #1 game, of course. Hans Niemann is having very tough tournament trying to beat people, yeah, very hard. Yeah, people against him play this stuff, which is like pretty crazy. But do you see how interesting it is? It's kind of a Dutch, yeah, reversed. So Dutch is now pretty popular, even though the people play it reversed. All right, Ivanchuk versus Vidit is extremely solid matchup. And even Vasily playing Scotch game doesn't help because this guy is so well prepared theoretically. It does not help, yeah. Rook h4, very creative, not even the first line. Yeah, very creative chess by the way here. But unfortunately for the players, they're evenly matched. They are evenly matched. And now black is better. White is actually lost. Yeah, how did Vasily save this actually? I'm very surprised he saved this. Vidit is like normally a machine. The king is not very active, yeah. d6, take, c. Oh, c5. c5, king d5, king d7, king c5. How is this winning? b3, right? b3, of course. b3, and then rook behind, yeah. He plays c6. This is wrong. Now black is winning again. Oh, blundered in one move. Rook f5, rook f7, rook d7 wins, yeah? And now rook b7 and white survives. This is absolutely incredible, actually. Incredible save. Nihal is playing another Indian kid, and they know each other so well. It's a draw. Yesipenko draw. Blue Bomb 1. Vitigov beat Musart. Oh yeah, some people were mentioning this game. So let's see it. Yeah, DC4 is very unusual. I've never seen this. So let's see it. I mean, I've seen it like in the early days when I was just a kid. People played like this. But this move I didn't see. 97. Actually, the computer suggested black is okay here. Okay, b3, logical. Take. Okay. White has better pawn structure, but black has nice pair of bishops. A4 looks correct. Okay, white is extremely solid and a little bit better, so what happened? Yes, bishop a3 I don't like. Bishop, you like passive bishop gives black a little bit control of the file. Bishop d2 makes more sense with the idea of potentially putting this bishop here. Okay, it's first line engine, so let's see it. Knight d2 doesn't look good. Oh, he went for the tactics and he blundered something, yeah. The rook is hanging. But now take, pinned, okay. Knight g2 is very creative, but bishop d7 is better. The reason bishop d7 is better because if you take here, there is this check, take, and then this pawn is hanging. And white king is way too open. So this was possible. Knight g2 is like really wild also. Yeah, a lot of crazy games in this round, yeah. Apparently miscalculation, rook e3 for some reason is stronger. And rook e8, yeah. It's like a Marshall gambit, huge threats. Bishop is very strong. Bishop h3 is wrong. From -3 to +0.5. But he doesn't see it. Damn. Now he sees it. And white blunders pretty much in one move, yeah. He just blunders in one move pretty much. But this is very, very difficult to see. Take, take. Knight takes. And the pawn is coming very fast, okay? If you don't rook here, knight here, like this looks normal. Rook d4, rook c5. But also knight d2 with the idea of knight b3 and c5, yeah. And two protected pawns. Probably okay, yeah. d7. Queen and queen f2. Okay, but this mate, very pretty mate, yeah? Very pretty mate, yeah. But okay, it's easy to calculate f5, yeah. Not bad. Not bad. All right, waiting for Pavel and then we're gonna start. Okay. It is the engine line. All right, where's Pavel? Pavel, you coming? Well, Naka will get those wins for sure. I mean, the regulations allowed, and Alireza got into the candidates exactly the same way. So why cannot Naka do it? I mean, I don't see a problem with that. So it's winning fair and square. Yes, the position is low, but points are points, and it's a fair win. I mean, come on. It's actually very nice for people because they get to play Nakamura, who they would not otherwise be able to play OTB. Okay, so I would say it's actually a huge opportunity for people, and they will remember about this game and show it to their kids. Okay, it's great. So I think it's actually very cool. He needs 11 more wins. Okay, he can get them for sure until the end of the year. Yeah, for sure. And if he keeps playing the those grand circuit, grand something, yeah, which calculates points into the candidates. All right, Pavel's here. Okay, guys, I don't think Pete will show up, so let's start. All right. Knight out of the corner. Centralization. Okay. Somebody didn't make a move yet. Okay, Andromeda made his move. F4 looks logical. This is not simple. This is not simple. I think b5 is not bad. The French defense. All right. Let's go. b4 opens the queen. Yeah. That's pretty logical. And also if I develop the knight, he can hit this thing and takes away the square from the bishop, yeah? Okay, I can see it. I can certainly see the appeal. Especially with the queen stuck here in the box. Alright, let's develop normally. This looks very sharp, but do I need it? Do I really need all that excitement? This bishop needs to be developed, and this bishop also. Yeah, the bishop on the central squares, like, I really hate this type of positions. The only types of positions, actually, it's unclear what the bishops should be, yeah? Bishops here together, they're like also kind of silly. So the bishop's placement in the Fischer chess is it's kind of weird in general. A6 is pretty weird. Okay. Open the bishop. Open the then you can take actually maybe. Right, let's open the bishop. The bishop is opened. Do you think not seeing those types of players open has been bad for chess in general? Hard to say. I think certainly nice to see players like that playing. Is it really bad factor? I don't know. Why should it be? D4, B4, my god. That's a true Fischer chess. That's how you should play actually, Fischer chess, yeah. Especially with the queen on A8. Yeah, if I don't do nothing, he can just play d5 and check, and castle was check, and that's a problem. So I need to come up with something. I do need to come up with something reasonable. Alright, I probably should take this, yeah. But developing that queen, really don't want to. I know I can play knight f6 first. Okay. Have you ever analyzed your own classical wins against Vladimir Kramnik back in your prime? If you read my books, then you know that I did. Then surely you know that I've done that. On stream? No, I didn't do it, of course, on stream. Why would I do it on stream? You know, I've annotated my best games from 2 time periods, 1 per book, and you know, I did my work. I consider it to be a good work. So, you know, people paying money for that kind of work. Oh, спасибо, солнышко. I got chocolate, guys.
Not only.
Hmm?
Not only.
Да, и куки тоже. Yeah, you can actually castle short side too, you know. That's extremely weird. That is extremely weird. Yeah, d6 is kind of passive, I agree. It is kind of passive. On the other hand, that's a very famous idea, yeah. Okay. I should play this, I think. F6, okay. C5 looks reasonable. Playing like Italian. In this position, if my king is on g8, I consider my opening strategy a success. But he needs to be on g8, yeah? Not simple. To get there, not easy to get there. Alright, let's develop the queen. You do get the tempo, yes, but I can trade the queens, yeah? That was my hope. I was hoping that I can trade the queens here. Yes, I think Pavel has much better position. I'll have to admit that. Rook on e6 is good with the king on g8 again, yeah. My king is on d8 instead. Yeah, this is definitely a disaster. My opening is actually a disaster. Can I somehow survive this disaster? Well, normally with the knight is on d8, you should pretty much automatically play this move. Pretty much should be automatic because you restrict the knight. Arsenal, you're asking me the question about the book? You can hit this pawn, yeah. You can hit this pawn. I need to develop, so I'll to play this anyway. Yes, chess gamer, correct. I have my games versus Kramnik in that book, in case you didn't know. Then it's always useful to play this, fix that pawn structure. Winning for winning. I'm not very happy about the bishop on h5, but why not? d6, but now you block your own bishop. That should definitely be good for white. Castle here. Because this rook is logically placed. Right, so what is this position? Yeah. So it's probably time to start developing pieces. Same time, maybe hitting stuff. Bishops on the long diagonals. Maybe a little bit inaccurate, okay. It kind of does look inaccurate, but this is wrong. Andromeda, you have 52 minutes. Why are you missing tactics, man? Whenever you do something like this, you should automatically look for the ways your opponent can exploit it. Okay, so b6, like opening the diagonals, how can I use it? We're doing so well, man. See, you're better. playing very well. 97. All you have to do is find either knight f6 or just ignore this thing and start attacking here, okay? Rook b8, b5, c5, start pushing, attacking, play aggressive. You're playing very timid chess. Knight f6 is actually very logical. I wanted to play here, but again, you can just develop because my pieces are so bad. f5. If I take g4, you're already here. The knight has nowhere to go. So I'll have to take this, and then you can even take with the pawn. And then this is extremely difficult to attack this thing. And I'll have to be positional, yeah. Queen takes is probably better. Now you have pair of bishops. You're just doing really well. I think you can even take this. Play like this, yeah. And I must forget about this plan because it's not gonna work. You counterattack. Alright, the agents suggest that it's like kind of equal, but you know, it's a game, okay? So that kind of makes me wonder how I should have played. d4, c4. After this, d4, e4, yeah? Yeah, it's kind of crazy game. It's my move here. Right, how do I play here? Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about knight c5. Good job. Good job on seeing this. Very good. Yeah, I'm actually in trouble now, yeah? If you can get my bishop, I'm actually in trouble. I cannot give you this bishop. Which means I have to go back. Well, admitting that I'm wrong is okay. Yeah, but the point of the Fischer chess is actually not to play symmetrical, but to look for ways to take over. Remember how I told you black can take over from move number 2? Like your position was better after move number 4, slightly already. So play for a win with black or white from the very first move. That's the whole point of the Fischer chess. Break with the traditions. Explore new possibilities. Bishop c6, knight d4. And you take my bishop and you get pair of bishops. And this bishop is kind of important. Which is why I should not have played it there in the first place. Until I was sure that, you know, you don't have something like this. Yes, Pavel is correct. He's gonna probably win this game. Because my king is in absolute... Oh, I also lost the castling rights. Damn, I forgot about that too. I forgot about losing the castling rights. Mamma mia. Alright, so... Emergency. Emergency! h4 usually is answered by h5. h5, h4. Meet your opponents along the central lines. I can't believe Arsenal, you don't have my book. Alright. It's never too late, yeah? It's in the basket now. Okay, great. Thanks. Thank you. I modeled my book based on Kasparov's older books. Lots of lines, deep explanations, possibilities. So if you wondered where that came from, that was what I modeled it after. Alright, I'm gonna go into the deep defense. It's gonna be so deep. The defense will be so deep that I will not even see it myself. Alright, let's get this knight out, finally. So we're gonna finish the development here. Once we finish the development, it's gonna be normal Sicilian. Yeah, it's not gonna be like something that will happen soon. Like in any Sicilian, this move is reasonable. And the fact that this is the endgame is actually good for black. It means that, you know, I have a potential chance to take over later in the game because my pawn structure is better a little bit. Because these two hold the 3 and I have the nice center. Central pawns control a lot of squares. That is always the good thing about it. Find yourself coming back to the Panov game. What's the problem with the Panov game? What's so difficult to understand there? Which Panov game? There are so many. Yeah, I played with Karpov so many games. Did I actually play Panov against him? Maybe. Yeah, I wish that, you know, in those days, playing against Karpov, I knew about this London setup, yeah? This exchange variation with e5, c5, bishop d3 and c3. Because there is no theory there. And it's a little bit better for white. So, if I had played that, if I've known about that, you know, if I played it, you know, because I couldn't break through his Caro-Kann. That's why I switched to d4 finally, and I had more success in d4 against Karpov. Yeah. I mean, these days there are so many things against Caro-Kann for white. So many options you can play. Does the bishop go here or here? Very interesting questions, yeah. The bishop might be coming here also. Also very interesting. But okay, I think we need to improve the knight, yeah, finally. It's time to improve the knight. Also kind of stops that c4, a4. Bishop here, protect the king. This is the best square for the bishop in the King's Indian. So it should be fine now as well. So the only problem is this knight, yeah. So because of this pawn structure, eventually at some point white will want to push this b4 and then c4, c5, okay? Especially with the black knight not being able to control the square. But that's kind of in the long run. In the short run, it's gonna be, all right, bishop d7. And he wants to play c4, I guess, yeah. Yes, knight a5 is actually a very nice idea. I'll have to agree there. Okay, let's castle. I still didn't solve all of my opening problems. That is true. That's isolated pawn structure, yeah. In general, the rook should be on d1 and e1, not c1, not the white rook f on d1, but it should be on e1 and d1, because all your pieces are focused and participate in the attack. The queen is on e2 or f3, yeah, sure. It's just on f3, it's often like you don't have the access, yeah, to that square, because bishop on b7 or something. But rooks on e1 and d1, they support your knight on e5 and the pawn on d4, and they help you with the d4, d5 break. So I think that's the basics. Okay. Yeah, okay, now you're kind of ready for this, yeah? Right, I think h6 is always useful. It's always useful. So, yeah, the bishop on f8 is pretty bad, yeah. Yeah, nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. Yeah, it's probably the worst position I've had in Fischer Chess in a long time. Probably one of the worst, yeah. Yeah, rook e6 is incorrect, I guess. It should be f6 or something. Is there any way for me to survive this? Unlikely. Unlikely. Alright, let's bring this knight here. Theoretically, I can even play this g4 move. Theoretically, to stop this f5 or something. There is no need. The bishop is quite bad. And I'm gonna need this bishop. Well, you know, again, that was just a guideline. You should just analyze and find out for yourself what's good, okay? Because I'm not sure. I can make mistakes myself too. All right. So I'm trying to finally develop my bishop. That is the point of all this. If with the knight here I couldn't play it because of this move, now the rook has access to the square. Which is not that great, but better than nothing, for sure. Yeah. Right, but I don't have to take this pawn, right? If I don't want to. If I don't want to, I don't have to take it, man. I mean, I can, it's probably still equal, to be honest. Fine, let's see. Let's see that statement, if it's true. Bishop b5 with idea of pinning for winning. I'll take it immediately. Because now I can actually put this bishop here, yeah. That kind of looks good. That kind of does look good. Yeah, why not? In general, Andromeda, you should question absolutely everything. The engine is the only objective analytical authority that you should consult often, but don't let it run your conclusions, okay? Make conclusions for yourself, use this as an engine analytical tool, Make sure, you know, you understand everything, every move, every sequence before you're adopted. Okay. Who is better in that rook f6 game? Obviously white is better. I cannot be better. What do you mean black is better? Black is worse. But I think I'm not as worse as I was before. Before I think d5 is just in principle is wrong because, you know, my king is in the center and he had pressure because king can go nowhere. If I go to this queen side, he just like completely dominates me there. If I want to get rid of this bishop, I probably want to trade it actually. But once he closed the position, now my king is kind of a little bit safe. The only problem I have is now this rook. If this rook can survive, then black is fine. If rook cannot survive, then, you know, obviously black is not fine, yeah. Now g4 is extremely interesting just to stop this f5 thing. I mean, I think it is extremely interesting. But to be perfectly honest, you can also rearrange the knight. It's fine. And this structure is, I don't know how to say it. It's kind of interesting. And counterattack, yeah. Always counterattack. Always consider it. Because good offense is the best defense. Alright, I feel like probably I equalized. I probably equalized here. C4, okay. G6, yeah, very logical. Knight h5, I have to obviously take on f3, yeah? And that's a big question, what is that? I don't know. I thought I might have some compensation there, but I could be wrong, no idea. I think knight h5 was the only way for white to play for an advantage though. Allow that exchange sack, but you know, it's an exchange and my king is still not very coordinated. But we'll see. After the game we'll check with the engine, of course, yeah. I mean, engine knows best. So we have 3 games in progress, all very interesting. I think after d5, I think I equalized. The thing is that bishop e7 is probably key move, but it's very tricky, because I can take here, take here, probably take, and then he takes here, yeah, and I take on g2. So kind of extremely tricky position. But he has pair of rooks and 2 pawns here, so it's extremely volatile. I would say it's probably a draw, but yeah, bishop e7 is the problem. Wait, I actually mentioned this move before he played it, yeah? Damn! I should not have mentioned it. Now he knows. He knows my fears. And of course I missed rook d2 as well, yeah? Yeah, that's what I missed, I guess. After rook d2 he just wins. Okay. Alright, fine. I missed it completely. I've completely missed it. Yeah, I forgot about bishop c7, man. Probably bishop c5 would be just better. Or rook a6, yeah. Anything. Yeah, I thought I have tactics here. Blundered. Very bad blunder too. This rook on g6 is very funky. It's a very funky rook. It's knight on f5 also. Still coming, yeah? That knight is still coming there. Knight is still coming. Okay, I think this is pretty safe to play. Yeah, rook d2 just went, yeah. I missed rook d2 completely. Let's be honest about that, I've completely missed it. Alright, advantage white, but maybe I have some hope. I don't know. Yeah, unpleasant. Unpleasant. Good job, guys. Posing me some serious problems. I should still keep some defensive resources, yeah? I don't think it's lost. Obvious advantage white, but with accurate play should keep drawish chances. It has to be like super precise. You cannot make a single mistake. Can't make a single mistake here. Because double pawns are absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous pawns, man. Now let's get this bishop going. And because you already played your rook, that means you can't castle here, yeah? On the other hand, my king can still castle here. Now this is what I call a long castle. Rook c2. h5, I suppose. Let me try to get rid of that thing. That's right. 92 is... Why not knight f5 pile? The knight on f5 is now kind of untouchable. Then you can just play g3 and push my pieces out. With 92 you kind of allow me to trade everything. Get a reasonable game. You know, Arsenal, I thought g4, king g2, and just blockade on the light squares was extremely unpleasant. This might be also not bad for you. That is true. That is also true. Okay, I don't have knight c5 here. Is it relevant or not? All right, now we have come to the moral dilemma here, yeah? Long castle. King from g1 goes all the way to c1. The whole point is that black's bishop on a7 is not doing anything. This bishop can take part in the potential attack. The knights are being placed so they're protecting the pawn, prevents b5, and they're taking central squares under control. Okay. So now the big question is, how do I, continue the attack here? But it should be pretty obvious. Yeah, rook goes here, the knight goes here. Potentially you can also play the pawn break. I have to go f5, otherwise you're just better, yeah. If you can get g3, f4 in, you're just much better. So I have to do it before you do that. Before you do that. Yeah, it's starting to look incredibly complicated, just as Foundation noted. It's starting to look extremely complicated indeed. Actually, I probably should have waited with this move, yeah. Because my king is on c8 and queen on e8. Queen is misplaced. Should have played king b7 first, probably. And only then this move. Because he doesn't want to play f4 yet. Not yet. If you have a pass pawn, you should push it. Push it. Trying to win a tempo, nothing more. Trying to win the tempo. Well, there is a threat, yeah, so you have to figure it out. Bishop h7. Well, what would I not give to put this bishop on this diagonal now, yeah? What I would not give to put that bishop on that diagonal now. Okay, I think it's kind of an important pawn, to be honest. It's doubled, but it's kind of important. But Arsenal, you just allowed me to trick you, yeah? Alright, this actually makes sense, I agree. Of course I cannot take it, yeah. Of course I cannot take it. Okay. Junka gave me a check and played rook e8 instead of a4. Wow, g4. I gladly give you the exchange. Gladly, without hesitation. It allows me to keep the position closed. Because you went, instead of fixing my double pawns with knight f5, g4, king g2, you went into opening position, which was wrong choice. This queen on b5 does not belong. Does not belong here, man. Okay. See? Okay, queen c4. Yeah, taking here is actually... Yeah, I could have taken this pawn. I don't understand why I didn't take it. My brain is not working. Okay, here. 695. It's kind of crazy that the computer says knight A back, yeah? That's definitely I did not consider. C4, take. A5, okay, bishop B6 playable. Oh, bishop C6, of course. Counterattack the central pawn. Yeah, after this you're fine. Rook BC8, same idea, but yeah. See, now it's pretty much equal, but you're a little bit better. After this, you're better. Yeah, I saw 94, but I just didn't believe it. And after this, you're just much better. Rook takes is much stronger, of course. See, G4, okay. G4, all right, G4, H5, King G2, and you fix your knight on F5, immovable knight, and then you can never lose. You can never lose this. So this was the beginning of a wrong plan. Yeah. And now you must look for a draw by playing G4 and getting your king out of this box. That was pretty much the only plan. Because here, your king is in the box, knight on the rim, and everything is done to move this pawn. Should be 3, check, must be played. And this, and then, yeah, I saw this line and I thought that should be still waiting for me because this check and rook e2. It should be win because of the pawn. So you went for this forced line instead of playing g4 here, which you should have done. And I thought that this is very close to equal. Okay. You can play this. You can always trade the bishop, go into the absolutely dead draw. Or you can play like this. Yeah. And knight goes to e4 and you want to hit this guy. So I have to be now very precise. Yeah. G5, rook a2. But knight f5 is possible. Rook a2 is a draw, bishop g1. You just hit him. That's a draw. Alright. Queen goes here. Alright, let's activate the bishop. Yeah, now I am completely blockaded this thing. Black is now not worse. Okay. Black cannot be worse now. I'm probably not better, but I'm not worse at least. I survived. Considering how badly I played the opening, this is like fantastic news for Black. This is absolutely best news in a long time. No, you were better with the knight on f5, but you just gave up this f2 pawn, which was critical. It's kind of critical pawn, man. You saw every single line? That is fantastic news actually for you. You should be very happy. That means you're doing really well. Alright, actually I made a mistake. The bishop should be back here, because I need this pawn protected. If you saw every single line that I mentioned, then all you need to do is that confidence that you're talking about, exactly. Then you just go get them, tiger, okay? That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. It's no big secret. Ah, there is another idea that I have, which I didn't see. Okay, now I see it. Now I see it. Yeah, okay, it's very strong, yeah. Very strong idea. Maybe I should prepare it a little bit. I mean, theoretically, it could be prepared. You're making bad decisions, isn't that even worse? No, the fact that you see the lines is great news. Uh, and the thing about the wrong decisions, it just takes practice to make them correct decisions. Okay? You just practice, man. That's all. Alright. So this is where things get very interesting. I think this is the time where I can play this finally. So all you have to do is start, understanding and start trusting yourself enough just to play the best line that you've seen without fear. Just trust yourself, okay? I mean, I personally think that's absolutely great news. Thanks for the follows. Guys, don't forget, for the September month, I have a back to school special discount for my Twitch subscribers. Get 50% off my hourly rates. Normally it's $100 an hour. I get $50 with the discounts. It's gonna last the whole September only. I am thinking about, prolonging it in October, but only if it is like a package deal thing. But maybe not, I don't know, depends. Yeah. So the idea with the lessons is that, it's gonna be a slow program. Again, identifying your weaknesses, working with it, suggesting strategies, testing. And for that to work, you kind of need actually to play not bullets, not blitz, but rapids and classical games, okay? Pretty much. 27. That's kind of sneaky. Sneaky move. Very sneaky move, man. That's actually an excellent move. Damn. Just when I was about to put my knight here, Pile finds a way to disrupt my piece coordination. Right, good job. Good job. But whether you take the knight or not, it's gonna be the same. Yeah, it's actually worse. You should just take the knight. It's kind of curious how both the black bishops on h7, a7 are symmetrically placed, and they're symmetrically bad. Man. So whatever you do, try to avoid bishops like that, okay, in your games. Bishops should be functioning. Bishops should be functioning, at least protecting something, looking. That's the goal. The goal of chess is you try to maximize the efficiency of each of your pieces. If it is not even at the optimal efficiency, that's cool. It's still cool. Alright, so let's get this knight to the normal square. Yeah, this queen on 7 is kind of unpleasant, yeah. Maybe I should have played knight f8 instead of king b7, but I rushed to move my king, finally. I mean, this should be still equal for me. I don't think white is better, but who knows. Now I am not sure anymore. Ain't so sure anymore. Is bishop c5 a serious threat? I'm wondering. I kind of need pieces, yeah. Well, the idea for white, he wants to take the knight and then push the pawn, pretty much. So, he wants to take and play d6. If I take with this pawn, if I take with this pawn, he wants to play b6 and open the file for his rooks, which makes a lot of sense, obviously. It does make a lot of sense. Alright, let me try this. I mean, with the way white king is so open, probably black should be fine with whatever I play. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, he managed to get the queen to e7. That's actually an excellent square. Yeah. Not something that I want to see, but not much choice. Not much choice for me there. Brazil sounds very good. Hey Zach, thanks for subscribing tier 1. Alright. Brazil's terrible if you care about culture. Well, okay, you're making a lot of assumptions and a lot of standards. When you lower your when the higher your standards, the less people fall under them, the less options you have. Okay, so you kind of limit yourself. That's one of the problems with having high standards. But okay, in some ways it's good, some ways it's bad. Okay, only you know what's best for you, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, but again, it's more complicated than that, yeah? I've heard a lot of great things about Brazil, to be honest. So I kind of hesitate when you put... Yeah. Obviously, I mean, there are a lot of beautiful and not beautiful people. Again, what is beautiful, yeah? I mean, sure, the physical qualities, there's a lot of other qualities. It should be whole package, okay? It's not just... and it's also the whole package that is good for you, yeah? I mean, that's the problem. That is probably the most unique problem.
Beauty is how you feel inside.
Okay. Yeah.
It's from the movie, Nonas.
Huh?
It's from the movie Nonas. Beauty is how you feel inside.
Alright, so let's see what's going on here, yeah? Well, I think Queen G7 is fine, to be honest. Queen H7 was obviously okay, but Queen G7 looks very normal. Queen F6 was actually Queen F6 was better, yeah? Because I created the threat of E4. Oh my god, I missed it. I should have played Queen F6, and if this, then this. But then, okay, he can even play King F1, so... and E4. And Pavel goes for this thing. Okay, so... Huh. Okay, this should be good. Regardless, this should be a good move. Regardless of what I think, this should be an excellent move. Queen protects the pawn, so we're fine. Now Pavel's running short of time, which is obviously excellent news for me. Which is obviously excellent news for me. And we take away your... So white queen is sort of trapped, right? Sort of. It's not completely trapped, but it's sort of trapped. I need to make this move first. And now you play this, yeah? Now you see why he didn't play it? So when he plays c5, there is check. Now he doesn't have the check. And voila. All right. No, he should just have accepted the draw. He was trying to force the win. I don't think he was better. I think he's just equal here. Let's see. Actually, I'm winning. Wow. Okay. So after gf4, queen g8, here. Yes, this is the position where I think you know, white is fine, but he needs to really play here and take away all the entry points from my queen. Yeah, probably black is a little bit better, but you know. Yeah, I don't understand half of these moves. If queen here, yeah. And if you play here, what's the problem? And then I have queen b2. Alright, so this is already problematic, yeah? Yeah, here, right. You could play queen g7 here and hit the pawn. That's what I was worried about. Then I have to play this, and maybe you can even take it. If you take it, nah, okay, it's not. Okay, this move. So this is probably the critical line. And e3. I think I should be able to make a draw with black, because this pawn e2 and knight d3 is coming very fast, yeah? So he has only one move, this, and then he has to play from 8, yeah? And I have to give this perpetual, yeah, pretty much. This is actually losing. So this is only check with the idea of queen f2 check, okay? He cannot go here, he cannot go here, so king h1, and it's pretty much a draw. Queen e2, king h1. So I have the checks, but it's just draw, because queen c8 is right here, no tempo. In the beginning, he was, of course, absolutely winning here, yeah? It's already +9, it's huge advantage. So I completely misplayed this position. In fact, this move was bad. Now white actually is, after d4 is +1, wow. Well played in the opening pile. In the opening was your thing. Castle +1.7, completely winning. b6, the only way for me to play this. 97. Yeah, you should play c4. Yeah, of course you play c4 and try to go for c5, yeah? Bishop a3 and c5 or something. Bishop e7. Knight f5 here, by the way, is very strong, because if I play here, then you can take, yeah? And now this, and your knight cuts off everything. My bishop is just horrible. Yeah, I was afraid of knight f5. Knight h5 here is probably black is okay, yeah. Yeah, I thought black should be okay here, to be honest. Rook e3, just g6 or g5, yeah. So, yeah. So you played rook e3, okay, advantage for you. c4, it's very interesting that you have this rook c3 potentially hitting the pawn, yeah. Interesting. Knight e1, you still have an advantage. Knight f5, remember what I told you? Knight f5, g3, just play against this rook. This rook is horrible. After this, f1, I should have played king b7, but this is a mistake, yeah. f4 is correct, and now you should play g3, of course. I mean, I expected this move. And then this. Yeah. This is just winning for you. Obviously, this is just winning for you. So, that was expected, yeah. And then I have to play something like this. And you just pawn up. Even knight takes. Bishop takes is better, so you keep the square, yeah. And you're just pretty much winning stuff. K5. Queen 5. King 7. d6, queen d5. Yeah, you just... Black is completely destroyed. Queen d1. You can even play this. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's still winning. Yeah. I was so nervous, but why are you nervous, man? It's just simul games, nothing special. And it's like, you know, you keep getting these winning positions against me. So sooner or later you're gonna win. Just, you know, play. Do your best. You know, it's probably because of time travel, yeah? But okay, learning how to play with low time is important. Ideally, you should not get into time trouble at all. Even the great people in time trouble lose winning positions. You guys remember my horror story, yeah? So after that horror story, I still kept getting to time trouble from time to time. It's just inevitable, yeah. You lose track of time, you think. But, you know, then nerves take over, sure. But try not to get time trouble. That's the best advice I can give you. Yeah, exactly. Learning how to manage time is absolutely critical. That alone can save games and win games for you, okay? It's much better to have, if your opponent has less time, he's better, but he has less time than for you to have, than for you to be in the reverse position. All right, guys, we still have more games, so that's it. Yeah, all right. So let's go back to the round 4 quickly. This was crazy game. Yeah, I'm not gonna cover many more games. I'm just gonna look at 1 or 2 more games. What else we have? Draw. Okay, Shanklin is playing. Pomidyarov, Madaminov. Gelfand Shirov, oh my god. Oh my god. The old classics. The veterans. Massive. Whoa. Shirov prepared this line probably, yeah? Bishop d2, probably preparation. With idea bishop c3. And queen g4 is equal. Queen d4 was the only way to play for a win. He missed knight f6, and now it's just equal. Now it's equal because not enough. Not enough, yeah. Damn. The oldies. Grishuk, by the way, trying very hard, but not making any. Gurel is another big talent, but in this tournament he can't show much. Yeah. Goryachkina is doing as good as Colors. Goryachkina actually beat Dmitry. Oh my god, poor Dmitry. I mean, she's not bad, but I thought Dmitry was stronger. Yeah, this is a famous line, by the way. And it's symmetrical position. What happened, Dmitry? Oh, 95. Classics. Kasparov versus Karpov. Let's see it. Let's see it. Already unpleasant. And h5, that should not work. Yeah, that should not work, man. Knight f4. Brilliant mistake. Still winning. And it's still winning. Yeah, it's still winning. Wow. I did not expect this result, to be honest. Jabava and Grishuk not doing well. Can we see the results, by the way? Standings. After round 4. We have pairings for round 5, actually. Rapport is actually sharing second place. Can you guys see it? No, you guys cannot see it. Alright, the pairings are fine. Let me fix it. Let me fix this thing. There we go. All right. So Max Udlu is the winner because he beat Alireza yesterday. Yeah. He's the only one with 3.5 out of 4, which is tremendous result. I don't expect him to keep it though. He is a very volatile player, but okay. Still, Rapport. Very nice to see him at the top again, to be honest. Blue Baum, very strong player. Prague, former candidate, yeah. Erigasi, also running for the candidateship. Youngsters. Vidyugov, the older man, still strong. Misha versus Gukish, youngsters. Morizi versus Kaimer, youngsters. Abdusatorov, not as young but not as old, versus youngster. Yakuboev is just like Abdusatorov. Kumularz, I don't know this guy much, to be honest. Like, who is he, this guy? He is 2001. That means he's 24. Huh. Wait, how old is Rapport, by the way? Rapport is 96. He is only 29. Right? 4 plus 25 is 29, yeah. But okay, time is pressing for sure. Alireza, Shanklands, okay. You know, guys, this part of the tournament is actually might be stronger than this part, okay? Let's be honest about it. Shankland, Alireza, Giri, Aronian, Nepo, Mamidyarov, Niemann. Oh my god. Also, Ashelia Graf after loss gonna be very angry. Very angry. And then we have here the veterans with 2 points. 2 out of 4 is actually 50%. 2.5 is +1. This is +2. This is gonna be extremely competitive event, and But there is only 11 rounds, yeah. So they're already, like, after tomorrow's pairing, they'll be almost halfway through. That's actually crazy. And Maurice is playing white because he beat Vasily Graf was black today. Yeah, that is actually a huge result for him. Very lucky youngster, to be honest. Hans is at +1. Not a bad place to be. Not a bad place to be. He keeps his chances. Tomorrow he plays this Demchenko guy. Very good chances to win. And then he moves up to +2 to this group. So I actually think Hans will show his, you know, class and improvements. He's been steadily improving over the last years. That definitely will be here. So expect more from him. Aronian is a wild horse, to be honest. Giri. The question is who's gonna win this tournament. I have no idea. I think you need like top 3 places qualify, yeah, or top 2. Not sure. Thanks, Pavel. No, I didn't check the video golf game. No. Does Shankland like me? I don't care. I don't know, and I don't care. It's like I respect Shankland. He's a former US chess champion, so he's a great theoretical player. He likes not many people. Okay, cool. That's his problem. You hate to admit, but you're starting to like Hans. Yeah, I mean, what's not to like? He cheated, he admitted it, unlike a lot of hundreds of other people who cheated and never said a word. And I like that. And he tries to prove, he works very hard on chess, and he proves that he is, you know, it gives him additional motivation, and he's trying really hard. What's not to like? Yeah. So, all right. Exactly, exactly. Oh, we have Vasily. Oh my God, I forgot about Vasily. Vasily is also +1. That's actually excellent. Excellent result for Vasily. In case you guys don't know this, last time I played on this event, I actually played in Grand Swiss once. I ended up at +1 at the end of the tournament. And that was not enough to be in the money. So I actually lost money on this event. That was kind of crazy. Can you imagine? You score better than the 50% and you lose money. Yeah. Well, what can you do? All right. Yeah, I mean, the guy loves chess also. He's like absolutely fanatical about it. All right, guys. Let me get a break. We're probably gonna meet then on the regular day, or I might run on Tuesday some recap or something. Okay, we'll see. But tomorrow it's definitely a day off for me. All right. All right, guys. Thank you, and I'll see you like on Tuesday and Wednesday. Good night. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your support.